So there's been news about Mel Gibson's gun rights, and I want to talk briefly about what that news might have to do with the rights of other defendants who were previously convicted of felony crimes or domestic violence. My name is Ted Hassey. I'm an attorney practicing in federal and tribal courts in the state of Oklahoma. There's a recent article here in March of 2025 from New York Times, headline that Justice Department official says she was fired after opposing restoring Mel Gibson's gun rights. By way of background, this is the second, what I expect is going to be a series of 4 videos talking about restoration of gun rights under federal law. And it was initially prompted by the news in this that came out with this New York Times article. It's been covered elsewhere, but as far as I can tell, it seems like New York Times is the original source for this story. So a lawyer at the Department of Justice who was responsible for reviewing pardons, called a pardon attorney at the DOJ, was recently fired, she believes, because she was unwilling to recommend Mel Gibson as a candidate to have his gun rights restored. Importantly, individuals who have previously been convicted in any jurisdiction of a felony, basically a crime for which there can be a punishment of greater than 1 year incarceration, or previously convicted of domestic violence, including a misdemeanor. Those folks under federal law no longer have gun rights, are not permitted to be in possession or own a firearm, and face criminal penalties under federal law. And then what will happen is, some people who have confusion about what rights they have, they'll apply to purchase a firearm. In the background check, they'll get rejected. This is allegedly what happened at some point with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson, that is the famous actor, director, producer, had pled guilty in the state of California to a misdemeanor domestic violence charge some years ago. And allegedly he later tried to apply to get a firearm and was rejected. I would note this is not the path to go if for an individual who has a domestic violence conviction. You definitely don't want to fill out any forms and seek to try and get a license or purchase a firearm, as you can oftentimes be violating the law by doing so. So I don't know exactly how it played out with Mel Gibson, but I've seen defendants who were charged for seeking to get a firearm when they were a prohibited individual. If you have questions about that, you definitely want to contact a lawyer. You can give us a call. We'd be glad to talk to you about it. But what I think is sort of the buried piece of this that is exposed by this article is that in the administration at the Department of Justice now, they are in the process of looking at individuals who may be candidates for having their rights restored. I'll get a little bit later in the series, I'll talk more about the statutory framework by which that would happen. It's under Title 18, 920, Section 925C, but that process has not worked, at least since 1982, when it got defunded by Congress. Well, it looks like with this new administration here in 2025, the Department of Justice is looking at people who may have their rights restored. What we're seeing from this, and there's not a lot of information outside of this report, but we're seeing from this is that there is a process going on by which they're looking at a first group of people. Apparently they were looking at about 95 and maybe recommending 9 to have their rights restored, despite the fact that they had prior convictions. And the hook for New York Times here was that the pardon attorney who was reportedly fired said that she didn't want to recommend Mel Gibson as one of those individuals who might qualify. And it comes out throughout the article that this lawyer was generally sort of maybe ideologically opposed to restoring gun rights to individuals with prior convictions for domestic violence. In any case, what this is signaling to us, also based on the fact that the people who were being considered for this seem to be the squeaky wheels, people who were applying to get their rights back, despite the fact that there isn't currently really a process. It seems like those people may end up at the front of the line if a process does get established. If you or a loved one has lost your gun rights through a criminal conviction and are looking to restore their federal gun rights, you should give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you about what options there may be. Again, my name is Ted Hassey. We can be reached at 918-932-2800.